It's time, man. It's time to sit back and try to follow up with sports.
It's time for New Sportz. Victor Allen produced and directed New Sportz. Today's neo-urban look at the sporting world. Hot, sexy. There's the Matrix Vic. There's the two-headed Vic. Get ready for Victor Allen. And ladies and gentlemen, here he is, Victor Allen.
All that. DeVoe, you could do a better job for me.
I'll try.
Wait, I got the clap.
You know what? Do a better.
Mario, you're blowing it.
Yeah, if DeVoe was to sit back and say, let me introduce Victor.
Well, try it then.
New Sportz, bringing it.
Are you ready? Try it again. I'm ready. Wait. No. You don't talking all that shit. So they talk all that shit. Nah, I can introduce better than that.
Okay, well, let me do
I may be, just because you old.
There you go. Go.
You know, I got dreadlocks and shit. I can do the introductions.
So coming up next.
Now, here you go. Wait till your cue. Here you go. Here's your chance.
Music too.
Go now. Come on.
Coming up next. Coming up next is Victor Allen giving you news.
Obviously, she don't have her headphones on, so she can't hear that. We can't hear a damn word she's saying. So that was kind of jacked.
Well,
Obviously, I think that I'm the more talented lead and announcer.
With DeVoe.
Just because she's pretty, y'all want to give her a break.
I mean, you know I can announce.
Show her. You ain't proved nothing yet.
I just did something.
They couldn't hear that. You should have heard that. That was so weak.
Uh-huh.
Give her one more chance, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. One more chance. Here's DeVoe.
This is terrible, man.
It is.
This is terrible. You can't.
It is.
You got
to DeVoe.
New Sportz coming directly at you. Victor bringing it to you live.
Wow, you got to have music.
Well, I'm doing something without it.
Thank you. She's doing a good job. I like that.
Giving it to you right here, right now. Open up your mind because Victor Allen is about to bring you new sports.
You know what? He's stepping all over you. He's stepping all over you.
I like the ending part. I like the ending part. Victor Allen bringing you new sports. She needs to get close to that mic. She's kind of afraid. You know, I don't use that mic. You can get your lips all up on it.
You know what? She was using a different volume because usually.
Well, that's why I told her to hear herself. See,
yeah,
I did hear myself.
And you can hear you too damn low.
All right,
Mac McAllister does wonderful announcements up there. G&M Bureau Chief, and we're gonna work with DeVoe and the sports. Because you know what? I just realized, Vic, that's gonna be the next one I do.
What is that?
What?
The next sports announcement.
Yeah.
We're going to actually use DeVoe.
Okay.
There you go. There you go.
Studio.
There you go.
Yeah.
You got to bring something, right?
The DeVoe series of announcements. All right.
There we go. Like that one. Hey, you guys, welcome to New Sportz. I hate to say this, Mario. You guys got to participate with me in this one because baseball is the topic of the day. So I don't want to hear no boos. I don't want to hear anybody giving off any bad vibes because it's a sport for the kids. Pretend like the kids are watching in the room. So
get your ass back to school.
And what
are
they watching?
Why the hell are you home?
Okay. Well, let me see. Well, you know what? First of all, it's All-Star. How can I say this? All-Star Week, and they had the Home Run Derby yesterday. And I know neither one of you guys watched any baseball, right?
Right.
Oh, yeah, I watched all of it.
You're right.
Yeah, I watched.
Nobody watched
I was glued to the tube.
This is so jacked up. This is so
jacked up.
He
didn't watch it.
No,
not a damn thing.
No, you didn't watch anything. So let me just say this.
That was a giveaway.
They basically you guys have to understand that that fallen fan and his name I believe is Brandon Shannon or Brandon. I'll get his name correct. They laid him to rest. The one who fell
the man
in Texas.
That was a terrible story. The guy reached over. A guy at a baseball game attempted to catch a ball. They hit it into the stands, right? He leaned over the rail. He wanted to get the ball for his son, who was attending the game with, and fell like 30 feet and died later. He didn't die right at the time because he actually was able to communicate.
Yeah, make sure my son was all right.
Massive head injury.
And his name is Shannon Stone, not Brandon, so I want to get correction on that.
Well,
so he fell like 30 feet and died.
Yeah.
So it's really, and it turns out there have been other deaths from people falling.
Yeah, they've had other deaths. And so the part about the All-Star game that this follows up on, that when you look at this picture, another fan almost fell to his death. Now, I'm not going to say he would have died. I'm just saying he's going head first. So there's a good chance, and he was at a higher position. I think with Shannon, he was about 20 feet. This guy was about 23 to 25 feet, but his friends caught him. Wow. So
he's big too.
Dude, he's a big guy. And look how many guys are grabbing onto him.
Yeah,
so
the guy, one of the guys' necks even popping out. He holding so tight.
And when you see it, they show it on video. You sit there and say, here's my question. Is a baseball worth your life.
No, that's an emotional outburst. You know what I mean? They went to another level mentally when they were watching the game. When they saw that ball, their reality disappeared and they were somewhere else.
Right.
When you do that, there's got to be.
It's the heat of the moment.
It is the heat of the moment, but
you got to kind of keep it.
You got to watch that
98% in this moment, and don't go.
It's
all the
impulse
way
control, right?
100%.
Well, sports and sex here are alike. Guys do stupid things in the heat of a moment, just like they will for a girl. Let's impress the girl. Let's impress the girl. I'll walk along the banister here on the 5th floor.
Right.
Or one time, to show you that I'm not immune to this. Senior trip in college, me and my buddy hung over the balcony to swing over to the room where the girls were. We hung over the balcony, like on the 4th floor of the hotel, to swing over into the girls' room and climb through their window and scare them.
I see.
And afterwards, we said, after we thought about it, what did we?
What?
What? And of course, we had been drinking.
Well. Now that's all I'm saying.
I'm just saying. That's why you do this stuff. This is why you do this.
So there are contributing factors in this.
Was he drinking?
I'm sure.
Well, I'm going to say this much. I'll say this much. I don't know because I want to be fair on this.
We're not immune. All of us do something
right,
like
and I understand this. But you're at the railing of a game. And, on the railing of a game. And when the baseball's coming, some of the smartest people who catch the fans who catch the ball, they stay in their position and they just let the ball come to them. They just go, hey, I'm a reach. That's it. The others go buck wild. He went buck wild.
He was running after the ball like he was on the field.
Well, DeVoe, you have to.
The ball wasn't even close to him.
He was on the field playing the game with these guys.
I wish we had a baseball here too, DeVoe. Because you need to. You know how hard they are. I played baseball.
Yeah.
I think everybody who's played baseball stays in their spot. Because that ball, I've seen baseballs knock the hell out of people, okay?
Right.
So I'm scared.
Right.
If the ball's coming at me.
I'm looking up, too. I'm not trying to run for it. I'm looking like, okay, let me catch it if it's coming at me.
Because or else, I tell you what I'd be thinking if I had my glove, I'd be worried about my date, my companion, or my kids.
Right.
Because that thing is like, that can kill you. You get hit in the head with that.
Yeah.
You could die.
Yeah.
They are hardcore fans, and we understand that. And hardcore fans go out their way because they feel how we feel about certain things in our lives. And so imagine the passion. Like DeVoe, you may have the passion of fashion, Mario technology, and the baseball fan has that same thing. So the adrenaline rush is acquiring the ball, and if that's it, they're going blind at that moment. So the good news is nothing really bad happened. So hey, it's a good story. Now, the real story, if you didn't watch, is Robinson Cano of the New York Yankees. He wins the home run derby contest. What made it special? His father was pitching him the ball, and he broke the record for the most home runs in the final round. So here's this guy who basically it's such a great headline. But the additional headlines that's going to this is that almost all the finalists in the game who are in the final rounds were from Latin descent. So it was one of those things where you see the global impact of it, right?
Right.
Okay. Now, the third story, before I go any further, because everybody knows this, is that today is the All-Star game. The story is a lot of the superstars are not participating in the game.
Is the All-Star for them a choice as much like it is?
A lot of times when they have this thing where it is choice. They have the right to refuse. There are conditions, and I'm pretty sure in contracts and everything else, there's a lot of players who would love to go, But Jeter, for example, said, I needed rest. And the part that they're talking about with Jeter, he came off of his celebration of the 3,000 hit. He had a 5-for-5 day. Unbelievable when you talk about how do you break the record off a home run hit. He bows out because he needs rest of the All-Star game today. So the story is, here's this guy, kind of like an Iron Man of baseball. Was it not the best move? Even if he would say, look, I'm coming to play, but I may not. Put me on the roster. I may come out one swing, go sit down. But we know when you're exhausted, it's not you stepping up to the plate. It's all that happens before then. The travel, the media day, and everything that goes with it. Did he make, because one of these stories here is the hot topic, and I'm trying to figure out which one is going to have a longer lifespan. Jeter not being in the All-Star game, the fan who didn't fall, which I think is going to go away immediately, or Robinson Cano, New York Yankees, who comes out of nowhere and wins this competition and breaks the record. Which one you think will have the longer immediate life force going with?
Because none of them are that. But maybe I think out Jeter, because Jeter, see, he's like the biggest name in baseball, probably the biggest name. And what's happening now, DeVoe, is that, and this is, you could even understand outside of sports, is that you have all these special honoring kinds of games. Like, you have whether it be the All-Star game in baseball, they have the Pro Bowl in football, they have similar in NBA, and a lot of your top players are choosing to opt out. And this goes across more than one sport.
Right.
Obviously, it's not special. And maybe it's the phenomenon like the award shows in music now, where you have so many music award shows. You have so many, even black ones. You got like 15 of them.
It's
The
like
BET,
red carpet too. Everybody's got one. It's not special anymore.
But it's obviously not special, because think about, at least when I was young, to be selected to any kind of an All-Star or Pro Bowl kind of a thing was such a big deal that people would go and do. It would be such an honor.
Right.
Now, if you think about it as it relates, people don't opt even to be in the Olympics.
Right.
True.
For the same kinds of reasons. These things are just not special.
Right.
Well,
it's part of our today.
And let me use a comparison here, because I believe it's some contributing factors that are very obvious. Imagine what players are going through today that other players in the past haven't. The media swell and what people can do for our social media in combination with corporate media, private media, and the requirements for them in the packaging and the marketing and the PRing of what we call the current day players versus the old style players who didn't have as much of this on their plate. So on one hand, I know when you're a superstar, unfortunately, the public wants to see you. That's just the appetite of the fan base. They want to see you. But I have to say, in fairness, there's nothing in comparison to the media blitz behind the stars, upcoming stars, yet to be stars, compared to those in the past who really didn't. I mean, you just had the traditional corporate reporters coming to get a story from you, and bye-bye. That was it. So do you give Jeter a pass on this? This is it. To me, it's one of those things that I think,
because it's come up so often in other sports, because of people because of especially like the NBA players who routinely don't go.
Yep.
The NBA, they routinely don't go
to
the All-Star game.
Right.
Even in the NFL, it's very common for people not to participate, even though I think the NBA is maybe the worst one, where they get selected and half of them are not there. So, no, I don't know if he gets a pass. I'll just say it's now become such a recurring thing that I just can't say he gets a pass. I just say it's now become evident, based on all the other sports and all the other top athletes who don't participate, that it's not special.
I agree. If I was in Derek Jeter's position, which, believe me, would I love to? Obviously. I would say suck it up. Go to this game.
That's always a good thing.
Go to this game and take another day off down the road, a game or two afterwards, right after. This one, I call it bad timing. I do. I say it's the timing. Off of the celebration, the worst thing you can do, the ultimate superstar game, and you're going to say, I don't want to be in it. I think it's bad timing.
But you notice, Dick, the reason why I took that back, why I didn't say that, is because I used to feel that way even really more strongly, is that no one else seems to care.
Oh, no.
Youth doesn't seem that way.
There's this little swell in the Twitter sphere about Jeter not being
I wonder what the age of the people. Well, first of all, I wonder what the age of people watching baseball is, and I wonder what granted, again, remember, I was really insulted, in the early days, but so many stopped going, like in the NBA. I had to get over it, because it got to be with the NBA that you have to see who was playing. Okay,
I agree. I think it comes with the territory. They say if you want to be very successful in something, you wonder the appetite of the fan and the public. You ultimately want to be something and be accomplished. But you can never almost go as hard as the passion of the fans who are everyday fans, fantasy fans. And that's who is in demand, and they just want to see you. They want you to appear. And I can imagine being in dunk contests when they lost their flavor, when the superstars stopped coming in the NBA. It let the new kids to come up and invent trick dunks and other things to bring on the entertainment value, because we wanted to see, the consistency. It's like a LeBron James. If you don't see him in the dunk contest, you go like, well, why isn't he in the dunk contest? So you have other requirements that now take the place of it. And I think in this baseball game, and I asked the question here already. I said today, if the game ended 1-0 today, I can tell you where everybody got their enjoyment from, the home run derby that took place yesterday. I have questions about whether the game hopefully will be as exciting as yesterday's competition. So, it's no big deal there. I just want to let you know. See, they're baseball fans. I just want to make sure I hit the right button.
Well, it's too bad because when you go to the porno conventions, all the porn stars show up. You get to meet them. I'm just saying, look at the corresponding, look at the comparison. When you go to the sports things, they don't show up. You can't get their autographs. And you go to the porno convention, there's the porn stars right there. You can talk to them, get their autograph. That's my point.
I'm going to jump over to the next story so I can save the vote.
Like they trying to get, can they get your autograph? Oh, you trying to work the controls now.
I like that.
Oh,
go ahead, DeVoe. Run that ship. Run that ship.
Remember something.
Oh, okay. I love it. Hey, you guys, here we go.
I try not to do that often, you guys.
I love it. I love it. Hey, look, this may not be a big headline, but it leads into a story that I think is somewhat a big headline. Former Cincinnati Bengal running back David Deacon Turner, 56, is killed by police. Now, Turner was shot and killed in front of a Bakersfield convenience store. Wow. And I'm gonna read the actual information so you can get quote by quote, because it's just one of those stories that is more than him being just the running back, but it's the idea of the circumstances. And so basically, he said the deputies were investigating reports of teenagers asking adults to buy alcohol and cigarettes, and approached Turner on Sunday as he left the store with his 19-year-old son and 16-year-old juvenile. The deputies detained Turner while they investigated. The sheriff's office said initially he complied, but then decided to leave on his own. And then the scuffle occurred when deputies tried to stop him. And when that happened, basically Turner allegedly hit a police officer with a bag holding 2 cans of beer. Now, it's a sad story, especially when you have children.
Who was there to say he had bags of beer?
Well, no, see, but the part that's going to take place here is that if they're stopping him and they're questioning him, and you have your children or your kids or whatever, the one thing that I'm going to question is, okay, you decide that you're going to leave, and then you're going to defend your right to walk away and leave. Now, I don't know all the details. All I know
all
is
he had was a bag, and no one needed a gun.
Okay, is there anyone in their right mind saying that he had the right to swing the bag at the policeman?
No, he didn't.
Okay, see,
but there's more. There's
what would provoke that?
Right.
What would provoke that exactly? And they didn't have to shoot him.
Hopefully there'll be some cameras.
See,
nowadays even the police are being forced. One of the things that's being forced upon police more and more, but not by choice,
right?
Is they're being told that we're instituting a protocol that you are going to have a camera, and videotape incidents because, of the number of folks. They're human beings, and there's good ones and bad ones.
That's right. So, I would like to know a little more about that story next week.
Yeah, that may have been one of the bad ones.
Give me more information on that.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that, like I said, it's
so his children saw him
one of his children, because somebody, I guess the other was a juvenile, maybe a friend. And so the part that gets me is that, remember, someone called and said about the solicitation. Something was happening in front of the store. You would hate to hear that he's in that position where he's doing that. Maybe he just was in the wrong place, wrong time. This led me to think about something else, because he's a former NFL player. And I'm not sure if there's contributing factors to this, but if his state of mind is based on the reports at hand and there's no other information, first thing I ask is, how serious are the health and welfare conditions of former NFL players? And so it made me rank, non-issue, average, serious, is it a real issue? It's a sad story, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a sad story.
I bet you, if you even look at the number of former NFL players that are homeless, that you might find that to be shocking.
Yeah. you would not really want to know the statistics on that.
Yes, and the reason why I brought this story up is because it was more shocking, the idea that this man was willing to challenge the police. It's one thing to walk away. Another, if it's true that he did try to, and that instead of restraining him,
they killed him.
You know, the first thing they think, they don't know what's in the bag. If that's true, then they're taught to sit back and go use deadly force, as opposed to, well, he's in the bag.
Well, let's wait. But we have to. Wait.
Him. They didn't have to.
Okay, first of all, remember now, it's the situation is everything. This wasn't rolling up to a scene where they knew nothing. This was going to a liquor store where the crime that they're investigating is purchasing liquor for teenagers.
Right.
That doesn't involve guns, anything. So they're not. See, to me, there is the instance that you should at least have some degree of anticipation based on the circumstance.
Right.
If you're entering a warehouse after 2 as a possible break-in, that's a different level of alert than going to the liquor store to see if this man has just bought beer for some kids.
That's it.
And and to have that go to the extreme, that's not someone. You got to use some common sense.
Restraint.
You have to use Like if it was a nun walking or Father Flanagan, you might think he may be going to do something bad, but you walk up and collar him and toss him to the ground.
Exactly.
No, you don't. Use some common sense.
Yeah. And like I said, I'll bring up another story about a high school football player who was killed. And
I watched Law and Order.
That's terrible. Who was killed, and the questions became who killed him, and it looks like it was his father. Although everybody thought that was unbelievable, you know, it looks at this point I'm gonna get more details on it.
Right.
But it's the whole idea that you think of, well, you know, what could constitute something like this? You would never think the father is actually going to commit the crime. All right, I'm gonna go into another subject here because I do.
That was heavy. Those are 2 heavy stories. It better be light. You're getting like Mario now.
Well, wait a minute.
You gotta have lightness all the time.
Wait a minute. The baseball story was, due process.
We only do light when it comes to complexion. That'll be Monday.
Oh, man.
That's all right.
We have cocoa today.
You don't have to worry about it.
We get the red bones in.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool. All right, you guys.
Do you believe?
I know. We got to do you believe?
Oh,
okay.
I remember this guy. What's his name?
Yao Ming.
Yao Ming.
He
looks like a dragon.
A wonderful ambassador to basketball from China.
Shot.
Yes, he is. And then our do you believe, you know, the whole thing about Yao Ming is that Mario hit the nail on the head. I couldn't say it any better. I mean, he is a true ambassador, especially representing his country well, if not one of the most popular. The only other athlete that's close is Lu Zhang, the hurdler out of China. So, you know, he is a wonderful ambassador.
And, you know, you watch him on the interviews, you know, again, there's always the players that stand out because of their energy, their vibe that they bring. He brought such a cool vibe
he did.
to the sport. You have to, and I give him something for that.
Soft spoken, and anybody who thinks twice, imagine yourself being 7'6" and having to run up and down the court with your weight, and how much effort it takes, and punishment is on your body, and you're trying to keep up with the pace of guard play, which is changing in the NBA right now, which has now gone to the guards are now what they call rabbit guards. So the speed and tempo. It's amazing that he can stay in this game as long as he has. All right, here we go with the do you believe. Here's my first one. Do you believe Philadelphia Eagles quarterback Michael Vick said Plaxico Burress is one of the greatest receivers ever? Mario.
I believe it and consider the source.
Okay, what do you mean consider the source?
Vic's just talking.
No.
Plaxico Burress, you know, no offense. I want to see him do a comeback. To me, Vic.
Yeah.
Even though they talk about that one catch. I watched him so often. I was not a fan of his because to me, he did not have great hands at all.
Right.
He dropped half his damn catches to me. So I've always considered him marginal hands.
Yeah.
Okay. Even though he's known for certain catches, even though he's so physically impressive, you expect these guys that are that physically impressive. I mean, you have a big receiver, that big, that kind of height. That kind of physical stature, and he's a receiver. You just expect a lot from him, and to me, you know,
maybe his hands are not his best trait.
Obviously not.
Not when he shoots himself.
We ought to send you to interview him and find out his best thing.
Well, you know, here's the question I have. I mean, if you start thinking about top receivers, when he said greatest, receivers ever.
Oh.
You're putting top 5, top 10. Would you put Plaxico into the top 5? Yes or no? No, he's not going to do it. Would you put him in top 10, Mario?
No.
Top 15?
No.
Top 20?
No.
All right, so what?
Does he go top at all?
I'm not top 50. No. No. Top. Okay.
All right.
Remove top.
Okay.
Remove the word top.
I'm going to remove topic.
Okay, now
Great receiver.
No, he was solid.
I would say yes. I did.
Never great. Never ever
not
great.
Great.
Never realized his
Right.
potential
Thank
to me.
you. Yeah.
Never.
So what is the answer to this question for you, Mario?
This is the question.
I say Michael Vick did say it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I believe he did say
got
it.
me confused
I don't think
there
he's
for a
wrong.
minute.
I don't think he's wrong. Plus, they say stuff to hype their buddy. You the baddest. You know what, DeVoe?
Yeah.
You the finest black woman ever. Grace
Jones
Pack Stereo
anything
TV.
See, you see, DeVoe, you should get him back. Get him back. You know what you
Okay,
when
see,
he's
it's
not
like
looking.
that.
You
it's
get
like
it back.
It's like the shit men say. See, baby, you fine. I ain't never had nobody fine as you.
Now,
That's
DeVoe,
a lie. I had somebody fine as you.
DeVoe, you want to get him back?
Finer.
I do, but not at this moment because I'm still in shock.
You're the baddest
Well, we
woman
will have
ever.
our
In fact, you're the
moments.
best hostess ever to Grace. You're the best talent ever of Pack Stereo TV.
There you go. See, there you. See,
It's like
DeVoe,
saying that, huh?
DeVoe.
right.
I'm gonna help you get
Nah,
him back.
no, okay,
DeVoe, I'm
understood.
gonna help you, DeVoe.
No,
Just
we'll
we'll
get
talk.
him when he's not looking.
It's
Yeah.
like you say, I love you more than I love myself, I think.
Okay. All right, let me go
Not
on over.
sure, but I think
That's okay. Don't worry about DeVoe. I'll help you.
Okay,
It'll be a
cool.
way of work for you. All right, let me go over to the next. Do you believe? Do you believe or do you agree with former Super Bowl quarterback Kurt Warner, who says Dallas quarterback Tony Romo is a Super Bowl caliber top 10 quarterback?
No. Once again, hyperbole is the illness of the day.
See?
Okay, and Victor and I have the biggest penises in the world. That's okay. If you believe that, then believe that one.
The question should be, you should know that. Okay, DeVoe,
And
you
we
may
had a
not follow.
contest here at
I
Pack
did.
Stereo, and all the staff here won.
DeVoe, you may not know who Tony Romo
Mac
is.
McAllister came in third.
DeVoe, do the best. Just say,
Oh my God!
just
gag
say,
him,
do you
will
agree?
you?
Yes or no. You just say yes or no, and I'll help you.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, well, Kurt,
I believe he said it.
He
That's why I
said
said
it.
it.
He said it.
Yeah, they just wrong.
See, this is what I'm saying. So we got two wrongs right
I can out arm wrestle any NBA or NFL player right now.
now. Let me have, now Mario. As far as Tony Romo, honestly, how close do you say? If you had to say Super Bowl quarterback,
No, not
is,
close.
is he even close?
No, not even close.
Okay.
That's like, okay.
He's closer than you think.
I can start some shit by saying they do this in music all the time. Like for some people, Britney Spears is really, really talented, really, and I think she's like just fair.
I got you.
I don't think she's terrible.
Your perspective is going to be
I
biased,
won't say
though.
she's terrible like some people say she's terrible.
Well, it takes all types. I
Right,
mean,
that's what
we're
I'm
not
saying.
just
Yeah.
one
Right,
type
that's
of
why I
people.
don't.
We have
It's
many
right.
people.
I don't think she's terrible because I've watched stuff and it's entertaining. So certainly, but I'm just saying when it comes to vocal ability,
Right.
that's not the standards that we used in our
Right.
time. But I still
But, I mean,
have the biggest
entertainment
penis in
doesn't-
the world.
Entertainment doesn't always have to be vocally. If they're entertaining you, you know they don't sound as crisp. And they still
I
are
can sing too, like
good.
Michael. I can sing and dance like Michael Jackson. Since
you
this
know
whole
this.
show is about, this whole
See what that
section is about people lying.
Wait, it's not lying.
Or
These are statements that
okay,
are true. See,
I'll
you have
tell
to-
everybody this is true. Vic,
See,
Vic and DeVoe
Mario,
together are the
just
best pair of models ever. They both model.
He is on a roll.
And when
over
DeVoe
here.
wears her halter top and does her bikini line modeling, and when Vic comes out, you know, Vic has a whole series of modeling photos in the thongs.
oh, that snap. That's wrong.
So y'all, so we're gonna fill in this section with hyperbole.
Oh, God.
And by the way, I have my abdomen is so muscular. If you could only see, this abdomen is so muscular. It's all muscles. Tell them, DeVoe.
See,
Feel it, DeVoe. Tell
all
them.
I'm saying is,
Muscles. Hit it.
be careful You know what?
That's hard.
This
Tell
is
him
the
it's like
hard
a
part.
rock.
You see, I try to sit back and focus on the sports, and we done lost the Tony Romo fans because he's doing the belly dance and the belly rub.
Yeah, that's what you're doing.
But let me say this.
Because all these sports players are lying. Kurt Warner, if Kurt Warner knows damn well Tony Romo is not no super top 10. He knows damn well.
It got him emotional over here, Victor.
That's okay.
Can
That's
we
all
go to
right.
the next one?
I would say this. Tony Romo has had the collection of talent around him that makes it difficult for him because they
Jessica Simpson is current wife.
They usually say a quarterback can, it's like Michael Vick with the Philadelphia Eagles. They go like, man, he has all the talent and gifts to take a team to the Super Bowl. Now, can he get his players up to that level? Well, Dallas players surrounding him, they haven't played to the level of the paperwork and expectations. So he suffered on that, and he's still trying to be that leader on the field. He's good. I don't know if he's top 10.
I think he's one of the best in the
as long as
NFL
you're doing
right
your best,
now.
Sweetie, that's all that
Right.
matters.
He's one of the best in
Don't
the
you
NFL
worry
right
about
now.
this
He still
media saying
has
you.
to really
Yeah.
play up to his potential, I think. But he's right. He suffered from the people.
Yeah.
But he's still in the top in the NFL right now.
He's still in the top, but he's just...
Don't let go.
Yeah, I know. All right, here's our last Do You Believe. Do you believe Houston Rocket Yao Ming will retire from the NBA in 2012?
I believe in that.
He's already retired. He just retired.
Well,
Now, he just announced his retirement. That's part of why I'm so glad Vic managed to pull this picture of him, because it really celebrates his legacy. He's tried so hard on that foot. He's had chronic foot injury.
Sure has.
He's too big, like Vic say. All that weight and pressure, the physics. They do math and studies that talk about the amount of strain on these joints when you're that kind of weight. And I remember how he played for the Chinese team, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's why I call him a wonderful ambassador to the sport, because he actually, to me, is one of those people who helped open up basketball to a whole, continent, really, of folks. The whole continent. Just like we've had some of the brothers that really opened up the sport of basketball to Africa.
Right.
You know what? He's like a Bob Marley.
Yeah, and to his country.
In his days, he will be. In the days to come.
He knows that. Probably the thing that's heavy on his mind is that his country stands so by. He is the Kobe or the LeBron of China when you relate to it. So I know it's hard for him to do this. And really what it says to me is about appreciating Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Because when you play to almost 42 years of age, being 7'1", 7'2", I can't imagine being that tall and being of that age and trying to keep up with youngsters 20 years, your junior, and then be the all-time scorer and the whole thing. I said, the part that gets me now, I have a deeper appreciation. And I was one of those cats, when they were playing back in the day with Magic, when he first came in, I was saying, man, come on, Kareem, get your ass up and down the court. I take that all back. I take it all back. I really understand it more and more because you look at Shaquille O'Neal. None of these cats are trying to flirt with being 41,
Weight has a lot to do with it. You notice Jabbar, look at the ones that managed to play out the long. It's hard to do it with the weight.
Yeah.
It's just hard. It's just the physical up and down on those joints.
You need to be thin.
Ultimately, they're going to give.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
and you need to know when to bow out and do something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the beauty about having these type of careers.
Yeah.
That's why you're doing the belly dancing now.
That's why I'm doing the belly dancing now.
You're bowing into.
I'm not going to even let them get involved in this. This is my thanks for the contribution to the NBA and the career that's a little bit shorter than expected to Yao Ming. I hope he has much more success moving on. And he takes care of that foot.
Yeah, Yao.
Leave the weight off of him.
Love you, Yao.
I am done with sports.
Yao Ming.
We are done. Hot picks, man. Hurry up and go out and get some pig
DeVoe,
feet.
give us that announcement on the way out.
Okay. New sports, giving it to you straight right here at Pack Stereo. Victor Allen's New Sports.
Yeah, that's all right. I like the S's. The new sports.
I hear you.
Like the snake. She was all snaky.
Oh, you crazy.